This is Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski. Here now, Tony Brueski.
What was the relationship between David and Celeste Rivas Hernandez? That's the question so many people are asking. We're asking, everybody's asking, and at the end of the day, the information we have is the information we have. Our brains like to fill in blanks. And that doesn't work out very well when there's not enough information for those blanks to be filled in. It's like Mad Libs. You can put anything there, and if your brain happens to go, that sounds right, you're probably going to go down that road. You're probably going to go, well, I'm going to say that that's true. Let's look at the facts of this case and then allow our brains to do what they're going to do with the caution and the ability to say, you know what, we just don't know. We just don't know the answers to some of these questions. Here is the evidence as it stands right now. When police opened the trunk of a Tesla in Los Angeles tow yard on September 8th of 2025, they expected a routine impound check. There were smells coming from it. They didn't know what they were going to find. Could have been anything. Could have been a gallon of milk. I've left milk in my trunk before by accident. Go to the grocery store. I put this here. Let me get my groceries out. I think we got everything right. Shut the trunk. Go in the house. Hot summer day. Week. Or month. And like, what's that smell? Oh, God. Did I put a body in my trunk? And it's just a gallon of milk. Oh, thank God I didn't put a body in my trunk. They didn't know what they were about to walk into. What they found was not a gallon of milk. They stepped into a body. What they found instead, it stopped them cold. Wrapped in plastic, badly decomposed, were the remains of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the girl who had been missing for months. That car wasn't random. It was registered to him, David Anthony Burke, the Houston-born artist millions knew as D4vd, the voice behind Romantic Homicide. The hit song about heartbreak suddenly collided with real-life tragedy, and it doesn't help you when there is a homicide possibly around you, and there's questions of your romantic relationship with that person, if there was one, which we don't know that there even was. We don't even know if you like women. We don't. And if you do, okay, you're 20 and she's 14. That ain't okay. That one, not okay. Could be reason for cover-up. Could be reason it does present some motive. If those boxes are checked, if that box is checked and this one is checked here, then maybe we got something. But all of those things we don't know the answers to yet. But again, like I said, our minds are trying to connect the dots. It's what we do as a species. From the moment they found the body, the public conversation shifted from music to misery. How did this happen? Why was a missing teenager's body in the trunk of a rising pop star's car? And at the center of it all, one question dominated. What was the relationship between David Burke and Celeste Rivas Hernandez? That question still has not been answered, not by police, not by prosecutors, not by David himself, but there are fragments of information that began to sketch the outline of a connection. They don't tell us everything, but they do tell us enough to show that these two lives intersected in ways no one can easily explain. Celeste disappeared from Lake Elsinore, California in April of 2024. She just turned 14. Her family reported her missing, and by all accounts, she was considered a runaway. No one knew where she went or who she might have been with. Lovely parenting, right? 17 months later, she turned up in Los Angeles in a car that hadn't been moved for days, parked near a Hollywood Hills house that David Burke had been staying in while recording music and shooting promotional material. Police traced the registration back to him. The timeline shows the car had been ticketed multiple times before it was towed. And when the Tesla was opened at the tow yard, the smell led officers to the frunk, and to the remains of Celeste. From there, investigators began the painstaking work of reconstructing not just her final days, but the link between her and Burke. So what was that first connection? Well, identification. According to investigators and confirmed media outlets, including people in TMZ, Celeste's identity was established in part through DNA and through a small tattoo on her right index finger, the word shh. The tattoo, it drew immediate attention because David Burke is publicly known to have the exact same tattoo in the same place. Fans have seen it in his music videos, social media posts, the promotional images, and a matching tattoo. Everybody's running this scenario through their minds. How did they get it? They must have gotten it together. And this whole story erupts in everyone's brain, depending on their own experiences and how that took place. And here's the answer. No one knows. It is not definitive proof of relationship. It's possible for two people to share a design accidentally or coincidentally. But given the fact that she was found in his car, the detail became significant enough for police to take note. Here's one that I think a lot of people run through their minds on that, is that, well, they must have went and gotten that together. Or was she a huge fan and she went and got the tattoo, and then when she met him, look, we got the same tattoo. Oh my gosh. Not crazy. Totally possible, about as logical as any other scenario out there. And at the end of the day, we don't effing know. But it was the first physical link between them, a shared mark that implied familiarity. Not long after the discovery, an alleged, and I want to say this strongly, alleged unreleased track began circulating online, or words of it. The actual track we've never heard, the full lyrics we've never seen, the actual evidence that the damn thing exists has never been verified. It was reported by a few outlets to allegedly exist. So take this one with a grain of salt, because to me, honest to God, after covering this stuff for a long time, weird stuff pops up that seems a little too convenient sometimes. And then later is debunked as, well, somebody made that up to get some clicks. So, I don't know. You don't know. In it, Burke allegedly, the lyrics would go, "Oh, Celeste, that girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes." Okay. That girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Did she? Did she have your name tattooed on her chest? What did this song even exist? No one from his camp has confirmed whether the song was actually written about the victim or the fact that it even may exist or not exist. But the lyric and the timing have fueled a lot of public scrutiny, and it just keeps being repeated over and over again as fact. And here's the reality we don't know. A young woman named Celeste was dead in his car. A song bearing that name allegedly exists, laced with intimate imagery. If it exists, again, hasn't been proven to exist. It doesn't prove anything criminal, but it does suggest an emotional preoccupation. If it exists, for investigators mapping the connection, it was one more indicator that this wasn't random. The third connection, the private investigator's discovery. The property where Burke had been staying became a second focal point. The homeowner, frustrated by what he described as a lack of updates from the LAPD, hired a private investigator named Steve Fisher to review surveillance footage and catalog what police might have missed after executing their search warrant. Okay. In an on-the-record interview with Law and Crime Sidebar, Fisher said this: We don't have any of her at that property in terms of pictures. We have pictures of her that were taken by David. We assume because it's not on a camera phone, but these photos are on a regular camera at different locations. That's kind of a summarization of what was communicated. So allegedly, there's some pictures that show them together. There's also the online live that show them together too. So we know that there was some sort of connection. Kind of amazed the kids are using cameras and not just their phones. They're kicking it old school, aren't they? Fisher clarified that the material was turned over to law enforcement. He didn't describe the images on the images or their dates, only that they appeared to be taken by Burke. However, that interpretation was gleaned. That's what he communicated. If the photographs exist, and if police confirm their authenticity, that would establish direct personal contact between the two. Contact outside of online rumor, outside of fan speculation. You have the live stream, though, too. Around the same time, a short video clip surfaced on social media, allegedly pulled from a live stream platform. It appeared to show David Burke and Celeste together, talking casually before David Burke says, "Delete everything! Everything goes!" after a reference to Jeffrey Epstein is made. After a direct reference to Epstein is made and a direct reference to adults having relationships with children that go beyond, hey, let me be your friend, let me be your mentor, let me be someone to talk to as a friend in this world. No. It was talking specifically about, basically SA-type relationships. Because that's what it is when an adult is with a child. There's no other variation. It's not a romantic relationship. It's not a this. It's if you're the adult and there's a kid and there's something involving S, it ain't S anymore. It's just assault. It's the R word. Whether you like it or not, that's what it is. The clip source, date, and authenticity haven't been verified by the LAPD, but the mere existence of the video in which they appear together, which we've seen, you've probably seen, I mean, it confirms proximity. It confirms they knew each other. Other than that, not a lot. There's nothing in that video of them like hugging and kissy or anything romantic at all. As I've said before, David could be her gay best friend. We don't know. We don't even know if women are what he's interested in. We don't know. We don't know the answers to any of these things, so we don't know if there was even a romantic relationship. And here's the deal. If he's 20 and she's 14, he ain't interested in women. That's a child. Now, again, we don't know that anything of that nature was even going on. Another big piece of this that's a big, well, this could go crazy. You can't build a house with cards that you don't even know what's on the other side of. It's a house of cards. It goes falling down immediately when, well, I thought this was the king of spades. No, it's like the two of clubs. Oh, shit. Well, that changes everything. Exactly. That's why it's so hard for any piece of this case to make any sense, because we don't know what's on the other side of the cards. As of now, police have made no public statement about that clip, but it remains a key piece of what journalists are calling the relationship evidence. Relationship. Again, not all relationships are sexual. Taken separately, each piece is fairly ambiguous. A shared tattoo could be coincidence. A song could be absolute fiction. The PI statement is not a police finding. A video clip, it's a video clip. It establishes they knew each other enough to be doing a live stream together. When you put all of this and you combine it into one, it does establish something, not proof of wrongdoing, but evidence that Celeste and David knew each other. They'd interacted, likely more than once. That's the threshold investigators need before diving into digital forensics, phones, messaging apps, location data, travel records. None of that has been released publicly yet, but the foundation is there, and no one has been charged as of yet either. Law enforcement has said very little. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office confirmed that as of late October 25, no case has been presented to them for filing. The LAPD continues to treat the investigation as ongoing. Privately, sources have told People in Law and Crime allegedly that detectives are working to establish a timeline of contact, when they met, where they met, how often they communicated. The rental property in the Hollywood Hills, valued around $3.6 million, was searched under a warrant on September 17th. Electronic devices and other materials allegedly seized. Those devices will likely hold the clearest evidence of the relationship's scope. Text, direct messages, photographs, metadata that can either confirm or contradict what's been claimed publicly. According to TMZ, people within Burke's inner circle told reporters they believe Celeste was 19 years old. It's not confirmation of anything, but it's a detail investigators are certainly checking. And if true, it could mean Burke believed she was an adult, or that someone close to him is trying to establish a narrative now, or that just everybody else around Burke and her believed that she was an adult, and maybe he did know her true age. We don't know. Celeste's family has said very little publicly. Through relatives speaking briefly onto NBC Los Angeles, they confirmed she'd been missing since April of 24 and that she would have turned 15 just a day before her body was found. Beyond that, silence from both families and from law enforcement. When the word relationship enters a case like this, people immediately default to romantic. That may or may not be accurate here. The only safe statement is that some type of, I want to say, connection existed. If the PI's photos are authentic, Burke and Celeste were in contact in person. If the live stream is authentic, they shared space. If the song is indeed about her, if it even is real, there was some sort of emotional involvement. If the matching tattoos were intentional, there's coordination. A lot of ifs. But the available facts don't define what kind of relationship it was. Romantic, platonic, mentor, fan, something transactional. That remains open. What matters and what makes investigators pursue it so aggressively is that the existence of a relationship explains opportunity. The reason a missing girl could end up in his car. As of now, the LAPD has confirmed the discovery of Celeste remains in Burke's Tesla. Confirmed execution of a search warrant at the Hollywood Hills property. Confirmed that the cause and manner of death are deferred pending further testing. There is no information out right now that suggests foul play, other than a body in a trunk. But they're not ruling it out. Burke has retained prominent defense attorney Blair Burke, no relation, known for representing high-profile clients in Hollywood. His representatives say he's cooperating fully with law enforcement. Meanwhile, his career is on hold. Tour dates were canceled, promotional campaigns pulled, and his social media accounts went dark. For investigators, the next steps are kind of technical. Device extractions, DNA trace analysis, video authentication. The body itself, literally, it's going through a process. Quite a process. Literally anthropologic type process to try and figure out what the hell happened here, because it was in such decay. It ain't just a normal autopsy that's being done here. You got to dig deeper. In the absence of official answers, the question of the relationship will continue to keep resurfacing because it's the only thing that could logically explain how these two people ended up connected in such a horrific way. Was it an online friendship that escalated, a fan-artist dynamic that crossed boundaries, or something much more personal? These questions don't yet have answers, and the evidence we do have points to one unavoidable truth. Celeste and David were not strangers. What the evidence shows and what it doesn't, it shows a shared tattoo. It shows a song maybe using her name if that's real. It shows a private investigator's claims of photos connecting them. It shows a video clip that appears to capture them together. It does not show when they met, how long they knew each other, whether they communicated romantically, or how Celeste died. That's the dividing line between fact and conjecture. Staying on the fact side is the only way to tell this story. Beyond this case, the idea of a celebrity interacting privately with a minor through online channels isn't new. What makes this case different is that the evidence of overlap, physical and digital, has become part of a death investigation. And it forces uncomfortable questions about access, boundaries, and accountability in the influencer era. For Celeste, what might have started as admiration for a musician could have become something else. For David Burke, what might have seemed like an innocent fan engagement now lives under the scrutiny of homicide detectives. And until police reveal the digital timeline, everything else remains interference. But even from the fragments we have, the shape of the relationship is there, faint, but undeniable. Right now, both names, Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David Anthony Burke, sit on opposite sides of a mystery that feels frozen in time. A young girl's life cut short, a young artist's life suspended, and a trail of evidence that confirms they knew each other, but not how deeply or why. The story moving forward isn't about assigning guilt, it's about uncovering context. Because somewhere inside that context is the truth about what this relationship really was and how it ended with Celeste in that car. And until investigators release their findings, that remains the central haunting question. How close were they, and what happened between them? Your thoughts in the comments section on YouTube. Would love to hear them. Search Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski if you're not already there. Do that same search wherever you're getting podcasts, and be sure to press subscribe. Until next time, I'm Tony Brueski. We'll talk again real soon.
Want more on this case and others? Then press subscribe now and don't miss a moment of true crime coverage from Tony Brueski and the Hidden Killers podcast.